Welcome to Unjustified, where we always cover the truth, the facts, the good, the bad, the ugly, on an unbiased and sometimes very unpopular opinion. If you're not already a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe now and hit the notification bell, and that way you will receive all of our upcoming videos. Thank you so much for being here, and we do hope you enjoy today's video.
Hi, everyone.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to What's Wednesday on Saturday and early Sunday. And we're all in green tonight. We're dressed in green. Y'all see that? You know, we're dressed in green tonight. Let's see if anybody can guess. Let's see if anybody can guess why we're dressed in green. No? Nobody knows? Look, y'all, nobody knows. Come on, guys. Thank you, Vintage Art. Thank you very much. That is my brother right there hitting the notes. To Hard Times to
St. Patrick's Day.
By Gangsta Grass. No, not St. Patty's Day. That's a good guess, though. That's good.
It is.
Irish. That's a good guess. You know what? I'm Irish. I am Irish. No, y'all. Think about it. What's
the topic tonight?
Come on. Somebody's got to know this.
Eagles fan.
Hey, War Eagle. Auburn won. That's why I'm so late getting here, y'all. That game was almost 4 hours. And yay, Texas.
I know, right?
Boom. Put the slap down on Bama.
I know my cousin was pissed.
Tickled the hell out of me.
Me and you both.
Becky.
There you go. Becky Boo got it.
Becky wins tonight. Becky has won tonight. Let's see. Let's go over here and see what we can do for Miss Becky Boo. All right, Becky. There you go. And your grand prize is the next time.
Welcome.
You will see, lady. Okay. Welcome, everyone. So glad to have you all with us tonight, this morning, whatever you want to call it. Pistachios. That's why we're green tonight, yes. Okay, Becky, now you see your winning prize. And thank you for all of your sports channel. So who all we got in here tonight, y'all? We got Ocean Blue. She's been here for a good hot minute. Vintage Art.
Mick J.
Yes, Mac J, our girl. Our Skanker Ball girl. Hey.
Aussie True Crime.
And
Kitty Witty.
Crazy on Skanker Ball. Inez. I like that name, Inez. Zephyr Hills. Gathering Place, my girl. Gathering Place, thank you so much for all of your support to the channel. You are very much appreciated. Okay.
Thank you, Becky Boo.
Kitty Witty. Aussie True Crime. Hey, girl. Okay. If we missed anyone, I'm sorry. I want to welcome you all here tonight. Glad to have you with us. This is going to be a topic that we've all heard of so many times. Just blew in the face with it. However, there is some out there that still don't really know this topic, right? And they still come at us in the comments. They come at Dave and Nelly and Facebook, you know, when we talk about it, and anytime it's brought up. So yeah, Nutgate is an interesting one. It's you can't really get Nutgate. I mean, you know, that's what we were talking about. There's so many different stories to it. Like if you're on Facebook, you got this one person, well, look what she did and look what she did. But they're hearing some and not all, right? So what we're going to do, everything about Nutgate is material evidence, guys. Am I right here?
Yes.
Well, it is because they
Everything.
actually interviewed all these different people about it.
Exactly. So it's all material. We don't have any video. We don't have any proof. And the only ones that was there was children and Cindy. So
And the weird thing about this whole thing is that they're talking about it, like everybody's talking about it, but nobody talked to Cindy about it.
well, no, not legally.
Yeah, and yet they did with everybody else. So
Exactly. Cindy was never given a second thought legally.
no,
And nobody cared to even speak to her, which is
no, it's like
unfortunate.
who's
It's not
Cindy?
right. Yeah, it's not right.
And if
It's
anybody's
not.
wondering why we're out here this late at night on a Saturday, it's because of all these different trolls that we're getting striking every time we go on a Watch Wednesday. So we've been sort of trying to mix it up to, well, hopefully that they're not ready to start hitting the button saying we're doing nudity or something stupid again. So
Oh my
we're
goodness.
really sorry for any inconvenience, but that's why we're here right now.
Yeah, and we want to say this as well. We've got several comments recently about myself, David, Nelly, and the comments are saying that we are trying to twist people's opinions and thoughts on this case. We're not. Literally, I wished I could say it. I wished I could scream it to the mountaintops. We are not. That is why we literally want to bring it to you, and we want your opinion, okay? Or we want you to have your own opinion. That they say that, oh, Kim's nothing but a Watts fanatic, okay? She supports the hell out of the Watts and not the Rzuceks. That's not true. That's just not true. To be quite honest, I support both of those in the same way. Like they are both victims in my eye. And people does not like it when I say that. But the grandchildren were equal to both of these grandparents in my eye. I've got grandchildren of my own, and I'm just saying, they're equal. And a grandparent, believe me, God, believe me when I say this, that any of you out there that have grandchildren and children, if you've ever been in say Cindy's situation, and I'm not talking about murders, okay? I'm just talking, let's just talk about differences, okay? If you've ever been in her situation, and I have, believe you me, I have. And not about murders, but there again, I've been in her situation to where my child has done wrong. Like wrong as wrong can be. Okay? But that's not my damn fault. I still love my grandkids unconditionally. You know, I don't get to see some of them because of the other side. Okay? Um, I'm not even going to get into it. However, I can relate with Cindy in a sort of way. And no, it has nothing to do with murders, but I'll tell you, my daughter's done some very bad shit. And her husband ain't much better, okay? But before I was able to do anything, um, the other side had 3 of my grandchildren. And that's as far as I'm going to go with that. Anyway, I get, Cindy, to a point when you're kind of isolated from your grandchildren. You want to be there for them. When you do get those little bits of time with them, it means everything to you. Like when they went and bought a trampoline, a pool, a new TV for the bedroom, just so all these special foods, you know, because they was going to get to spend some time with them. And then everything went to shit.
Well, that's the whole thing, that she did go out and she went and spent, what was it, $300 before they got there on
It was
different
over
things.
3. Yeah, it was 3 plus.
And then when Shanann comes, she started just filling up the garbage can because she couldn't, or the kids couldn't have what it was that she was buying. So it went straight out to the garbage.
Oh, yeah.
And then,
Now people, that's what they need to understand. That was the second weekend she was there.
yeah,
And it was on a Monday. So she had already been there Friday and Saturday and Sunday. And Nutgate happened on a Monday. Like, I think people gets it messed up thinking, well, that was the first time she was there. No, it was the second weekend. And not only was it the second weekend, it was Monday. Like, she was due to go home that evening anyway, go
right.
back to her parents. She was due to go back anyway that day when her dad got off work or whatever it was to come pick her up or meet or whatever,
Yeah.
however they did it. But it was Monday. Everything was fabulous. Great. Cindy and Shanann even had an amazing talk. Like, Cindy was so happy they had a hell of a good talk Sunday night. And they were starting to bond, which is fabulous. However, Monday, Cindy babysits Jamie's kids now that she's retired, right? So when Jamie headed off to work, I guess she worked second shift, and she dropped her kids off there. That's when hell broke loose. Like, and see, in my eye, I can see Cindy feeling like this, this is awesome, man. Me and Shanann had this great talk. All the grandkids are here playing together. She makes them dinner, puts it out on the patio. They're all having fun. And then all of a sudden, all hell breaks loose. It's unfortunate as hell that it happened. I do believe Nutgate did play a role in what happened. I do. I believe it was enough. And again, NK, I believe NK also was like, Chris, you can't put up with this, the pressure, the pressure. And she was telling him, and if y'all remember, she was telling him, go see your family, Chris. Family's important. Well, she already knew if he tried to buck up at Shanann about going to see his family and bringing his kids, that him and Shanann was going to have all out hell with each other. She knew that. And she wanted them to, in my opinion. She wanted them to clash. I think it was just part of her manipulation and control over Chris to get him to say, I'm going to my mom's, whether you like it or not, and I'm taking the kids. Well, she knows Shanann well enough to know that shit ain't happening. There's going to be war when he even tries to do that. And there was. So, that's exactly the way I see it. And I do think Nutgate played a big role in this. And I do think NK's manipulation, pressure, persistence, and ultimatums was the driving force. I mean, that was it,
Well, especially when she's telling him to go with his family and then sending him nude photos. Like, how in the heck, are you
the
supposed
whole
to be
time. Yeah, exactly.
spending any time with Shanann if, trying to work things out if she's sending nude pictures of herself?
Absolutely. The whole damn time. She's just blowing his phone up. But you need to fix your marriage. But don't forget, you got this. My ass sitting over here waiting on you. Send me some nude photo. I mean, just idiot shit. I mean, you can't tell me this witch wasn't what the hell the catalyst. She's. I'm telling you, if he had never met her ass, this wouldn't have never happened.
But I'm still convinced that she was sent there to break up the marriage. I really am. And it's the only reason why I say that is because of Amanda to start off with.
Yeah, well,
Amanda
true
was
enough.
the first. And she worked with Sandy and NA. And it just seems kind of odd that why would she go and sleep with Chris, knowing damn well that he's married and that the mother-in-law, she's working with him. It doesn't make sense unless they were there to break up the marriage. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, either way, whether she was sent or whatever, I'm telling you, she was the one. just like Frankie Jr. said, y'all. I mean, it is what it is. She planted all kind of shit in his head. And Chris is just the one that's going to go, okay, all right, I'll do what you say, because I don't know.
Yep.
I'm not saying that she said that she told Chris, go kill him. But in Chris's mind, I mean, he's like, well, how in the hell am I going to get rid of her? I don't know. Anyway, so what we got for y'all tonight, guys, is we have taken the whole week and put together pieces of the interviews, the discovery, screenshots from both sides. Shanann, unfortunately, wasn't with us to be able to give a spoken interview. However, her screenshots, just as Netflix says, in her own words, isn't that how Netflix says it about her screenshots?
Yeah, giving Shanann a voice.
Okay, that's what we're doing here with Netflix. And, for her to be able to have her say, just as Netflix did. And you're going to hear from everybody, right? And we're going to stop here and there. We're going to talk about it. Get you a pen, a paper. I don't want to sound like no school teacher here, but just do a quick jot. This one says this happened. This one says this happened. Let's see if we can. Let's see at the end if we can put all of the stories together and see what we can come up with together on this. Just like if we were a damn mock jury. And this is the deal. Is Cindy guilty of trying to kill Cece? Is Cindy guilty of being the world's worst grandmother? You may already have your thoughts in your head about that, but don't do it. Let's go into this open-minded, like you don't know a damn thing about it. You're the investigator. You're the jury. You're listening. You're listening to what everyone's telling you, okay? And let's just say we'll take a poll at the end, and let's just see if your thoughts may have changed. Sometimes it helps to hear it all and see it all together instead of a little here and a little there, and So, what do y'all think, Dave, Nelly? You think that
sounds good to me?
We should have a little poll on it at the end.
Sure.
Why
The
not?
whole thing is just listen to the evidence that's there.
Yeah.
And it's like everybody, like if Shanann's telling everybody the same thing, all the stories should be the same.
Exactly. And then we should all vilify the hell out of Cindy for doing this to Cece, right? But if we don't see it that way, then we need to try to figure out why it happened. Opinions is what it's your God-given right. That is your brain. You have your own opinion, and I want to hear it at the end. Okay.
This is one of the biggest problems. Everybody's saying that Cindy lies like crazy too, and that Chris lies like crazy. But
here's the thing: if Cindy lied, there's a hell of a lot of shit she shouldn't have even said. Just to be quite honest.
That's right.
I mean, if she's a snake in the grass and she's a liar, then why is she hated? Why would she have been so damn blunt and say it the way she felt it? She didn't have to do that. It's all material. Hearsay. She didn't have to do it. Okay. I mean, that's the way I see it.
So I'm going to mute, and then you can let her go.
Yes, sir. And we'll stop every so often, guys. And we're going to, and if you want to write it down, hey, so-and-so said this and so-and-so said this. If you do, or if you got a good memory, like I really don't got that good a memory anymore, please pardon my Southern talk. Don't come at me. I just caught myself. I don't got, yeah. It's bad, y'all. All right, we ready?
I know she had a couple of issues with her mother-in-law. There was, and it revolved around Cece and her allergies. Her mother-in-law she had another grandchild over there, and like Shanann had asked her, make sure that you don't have this list of things. You can't have this in the house, because she just recently found out how severe this allergy was. And she had found out that the other grandchild had this ice cream that had nuts in it.
Now, see, they say it was just recently. Okay, actually, Shanann was very upset because she said this is not new. This has been a situation since 2016. So, but Lauren said that she was told she just recently found out. So see, we got an inconsistency that she's been told right there, right?
And with her, she's friends with Shanann and Sandy. So who knows where
Yes.
that comes from too.
Right. So, yeah.
And her mother-in-law basically told her, well, you can't give her everything she wants. She's not the only kid here. And she's like, it's not a favoritism thing, it's a health and safety thing. And it just kind of escalated from there. I know she had mentioned something about someone trying to give Cece, a peanut to see if the allergy was real or not. I don't know if they actually gave it to her or what happened, but it was this huge ordeal. And so she felt that it would be better if the kids didn't go over to see his mom without being supervised, because she clearly can't be trusted with the safety of Cece and her allergies. So I know that was kind of the only thing that she had talked to me about, because she was pretty stressed out about it, naturally.
Yeah, no, that's understandable. So that caused quite a bit of consternation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else in general that you remember?
Mm-mm.
Talkative.
They're very talkative.
Yes.
Okay, so Lauren was told that Cindy was trying to give Cece nuts, and Shanann was trying to get her to stop doing that, right? And that it was something that she was recently diagnosed with. So that's what Lauren was told, right? Okay.
Okay. So did they tell you anything that was happening? Was there anything that was concerning that you heard?
Bella she sat by me and she was really concerned. Her little sister fell asleep before her, so she sat on the couch with me for a while, and she actually told me something. She's like, "Can I ask you something?" And I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "My little sister has, she told me if she eats coconut, she'll never be able to see her again." So I'm guessing that the littlest one has a severe allergy, and that's what they told her, that if she eats that, she'll never be able to see her again. And she was really upset by that.
Bella was?
Yeah.
And so if Cece ate coconut, she would potentially
Yeah,
die.
I know she has a tree nut allergy, but I never heard coconut. So I wonder if they just, I don't know if she got coconut.
So Cece has a tree nut allergy?
Yeah, like a severe one.
Okay. So you watch the children. He leaves you get there at 4:30. What time do you think he leaves?
Probably 4:45 after we've gone through everything, and he orders the pizza for us.
Where was the pizza from?
Papa John's, I think.
Okay.
In Colorado.
So that's really sad, y'all. I mean, it's like little Bella had some sort of sixth sense, right? It's like, I don't know, she was just wanting her mommy to get home. She was all kinds of sad all night. Couldn't even sleep. And then she started worrying about her sister. I'll never get to see her again. And she's giving coconut. Like, that's sad.
That's very sad.
That's a lot for her to carry on her little shoulders, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That was another reason why Shanann used to call her mama all the time, is because she was more of a mothering nurture than Shanann was, really. So.
Oh, I'm sure she helped with Cece quite a lot.
And why didn't they tell? Because Shanann was on the phone with this babysitter throughout the night. Why didn't she tell her that the kids had tree nut allergies? Same with Chris, you know?
Yeah.
Nothing was mentioned until Bella told her about the coconut.
Yeah, and McKenna's parents knew.
Yeah. So
So
kind of
she
weird.
should have known about the food allergy. Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's very important.
Mhm.
I mean, big time, you know. So
Especially
yeah,
like she
good
would have
point.
to know where the EpiPens are and everything, right? So
Exactly. Good point.
that, and because they are allergic to dust, grass, dog hair, all this other stuff too, that
Yeah.
means it could go into some kind of a shock at any given time. And if they're
Yes.
not pointing out the kid needs an EpiPen for this, that, and everything else, well,
Oh
what's the
yeah.
kid supposed to do, right?
Yeah. Very good point. Papa John's Pizza there too. You know, they have allergen warnings as well.
Yeah,
You
Bojangles,
know. Yeah.
Popeye,
Yeah.
Dairy Queen.
Yep. Okay. Let's see what Addie Maloney has to say.
There was an issue with her youngest daughter has a severe tree nut allergy, and Chris's mom had essentially exposed her to the tree nut allergy. Nothing happened, but she was very upset that she had put her in the position where, you know, she could have. It was pistachio ice cream, and the Chris's mother gave one of the cousins pistachio ice cream, and Cece was crying for it because she wanted it too. And they had a falling out over that because, you know, Shanann felt that she should have, you know, chosen another flavor of ice cream to bring home to the house to feed these kids.
So Shanann had a falling out with mom or dad?
Well, that was with mom. She loved Chris's dad. But I think the whole thing just escalated to both of the parents, both of Chris's parents just being upset with Shanann. And they didn't come to they didn't come to Cece's birthday party.
Which was in North Carolina?
Which was in North Carolina. Shanann threw a birthday party, and Chris's parents did not come because they were upset with Shanann. And they also unfriended them on Facebook, both of them, Chris and Shanann. And I think Chris was upset. And I don't know this for a fact. These are all things I was like, well, maybe he's upset with you because of the falling out with your parents. And she said that he did feel that she caused the problem between him and his dad is his hero.
Dad is Chris's hero?
Yes.
And Chris felt Shanann caused the problem?
I believe so, yeah. That's what Shanann felt.
Shanann felt Chris thought?
Yes. Shanann felt that Chris felt that Shanann caused a problem between his dad. He specifically said his dad, but really, you know, both of his parents, but he's closer with, had some issues along the way too, but he was always close with his dad.
The week they were in North Carolina, and I can show you text.
So she was told that Cindy legit gave Cece pistachio ice cream. Just, here's you some ice cream. And it's pistachio. So that's what Addie was told, right? So far it's sounding like Cindy is not the best grandma in the world, right? I mean,
And remember pistachio ice cream.
Pistachio ice cream, and she just gave it to her, and Shanann trying to say, you know, she can't have that, and Cindy just does it anyway, and that's the ice cream she bought, and she should have actually bought some that Cece could have, but she didn't. She bought pistachio, and that's what Addie was told, right? I mean, I don't want to say it wrong, but that's right? So, okay, here we go.
That she sent me. She said, I think it was the second or third week
she was there, and there's posts all over Facebook about it too. She got in a fight with Chris's mom because she went to Chris's mom's house to visit, and I think her name's Cindy. The other grandkids were there and they were older. Cindy bought ice cream that has everything Cece's allergic to in it. So Shanann asked, and this is just hearsay, I don't know. Shanann asked Cindy, please do not give this to the other grandkids until I get Cece to bed, because she's not going to understand and she cannot have it. And she took it and put it back in the fridge, and then I guess Cece went and got it, and then Shanann put her to bed, because I mean she's so sick. Like, you eat cashews and kiss her, she could go into shock. That's how severe it is. So they argued or whatever. Shanann went back to her parents' house the next day, and as far as I know, she did not go back and see his parents. But they celebrated Cece's birthday while they were down there, because she turned 3 in July, and the parents did not come to Cece's birthday party. So I know there was like a falling out between Shanann and Chris's parents, and then she called Chris and told Chris what was going on. So apparently there was some issues with her and Chris. And the whole thing, I don't know. And then I was told that Chris went and saw his mom and dad while he was there and spent the whole day there. And Shanann's mom, Sandy, and Shanann both said that Chris was not himself when he came back.
She found pistachios in my room and she went off on me. She's like, what are you thinking? I was
Well, we just heard Frankie say that she found them in his room too, but we wouldn't have even known that if Frankie hadn't told us, right? I didn't see any post on Facebook about it. I could have misplaced them. Have y'all
I
ever?
never saw anything either.
Yeah, not about Frankie.
Nothing about Frankie.
Yeah, I didn't think so. I mean, I haven't, and y'all haven't, and I just don't think it's out there. But
especially with Frankie, because that's very, very important, because a lot of people don't know that was actually the first time that Frankie met Cece in person, and that she just turned 3. So that's something very important that he should know. Meeting her for the first time, don't have any tree nuts, like pistachios. He had a bag of pistachios in his room.
Yeah, and she jumped on him, and that was it. But I didn't see it on Facebook, and I didn't, total cussing him out and accusing him of killing Cece. And I'm not being a bitch here. I'm just being straight up. I didn't see that. I don't think he was accused of killing Cece for that, but who knows? But anyway, so NA just said that Cindy bought this ice cream that had every nut in it that Cece couldn't have. Right, and she just set it out for the kids to get. Right, so there's what we've got so far. Let's say hi to Seeking the Truth with Dave. Hope you're feeling better. Dave is pretty much an expert on this part. He went to Cindy and Ronnie's and talked with them about this. But I think it's cool to put all this together like we're doing tonight, Dave. We're doing like a mock jury. We're hearing every side, everyone, all the material evidence in this that we can find, and see if we can figure this damn thing out a little better. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, let's get back to Frankie.
That's the worst night she could be around. I was like, I'm sorry, I've been here for like months. I didn't know. Sorry. Never done myself. And she's like, if you know Cece, she can get to him. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. I went through my room, made sure everything was, everything, chocolate, whatever. And she's very protective, very protective. And I mean, she was all over them, all over them. And
Janet came out for 6 weeks with the girls. They were going back and forth from our house to his house, his mother's house.
Okay.
And the little Celeste had allergies to nuts, tree nuts. Very allergic to them, very allergic to them. She had 2 EpiPens she had to carry with her. So she told us all, get rid of anything that's got nuts or just get it up high enough. Don't throw it away, just get it out, no problem. My wife cleaned the whole house out. I mean, I had to go looking for stuff. She took underneath every cabinet. So she told Chris's parents the same thing. They did go over her house a couple times, and Chris's mom really never got along with Shannon because she took her son away from him. That's how we took it. They didn't come to her wedding, their engagement party. They didn't come to nothing to theirs. So when Shannon was over, I think it was the second week she was there, the weekend, she had called me up frantically and said, "Get me the hell out of here now." The mother had nuts all over the place, and they're all worn. She was there a week prior and told her to make sure this is this way. So the mother, at that time, Shannon was feeding the girls some hot dogs for lunch and all this, and she had her other two nieces and nephews over, and they came out with ice cream with all these nuts in it, and so ended up being, Shannon and her had little words. And Shannon said no, and she called me up and said, "I gotta go. We just had a blowout because, she's got nuts on the table, nuts on the in the cabinet right there, open for this little girl." And she said, "No, I'm done." And so she told Shannon, "Well, that's just a training lesson or something like that to her." I'm like, that's not it's a 3-year-old girl you're talking to. It's not something you're trying to, discipline. Birthday present. Hey, your sister's getting a birthday present today. You're not getting one because it's not your birthday. That's some kind of, saying this is what you do,
Right.
So Shannon called Chris and told Chris about it. So Chris said he called his parents that night, and his mother told him the same thing. That's what we heard. I didn't hear it, but that's what Shannon had said. So, of course, Shannon never went back to the house with the children. She stayed at our house.
Province. Oh, I was mad. Shanann wanted to come for 6 weeks this summer so she could introduce the girl. So he said that there was just nuts all over the house, and what else did he say that we need to...
Story just gets worse and worse each person that tells it.
Yeah, and it is... It's never the same story, right?
Nope.
So imagine being the investigator, the detective, or even the jury and listening to all these stories like that we've heard, right? And we're going to hear the other side in just a minute too.
Yeah, that was another important thing too. He said that that was the second time that they'd been over there. So they more or less did a week at a time at each place. So you're going on your 4th week.
Yeah, I'm glad you pointed that out, Dave. The first week, she let them all know what they could be there. Cindy took her and bought the groceries. She also, anything that was found in the house, she did put in the trash the first weekend that she was there. All that was done at both houses, at the Rzuceks and the Watts. And so I guess, coming in the second week, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday, all of a sudden, everything was there that shouldn't have been. Now, when she got there Friday, when Shanann got to the Watts' Friday, and you're going to hear that as well, there was a little bag of pistachios. They were on the kitchen counter. And Cindy was like, shit, oh, yeah, because they were her grandsons. And she's like, okay, good. I'm glad you found them, And so Shanann took them and put them on top of the refrigerator because, as we know, Cindy does babysit her other grandkids through the week. So they had been left there by the grandson, so she didn't even realize it. So Shanann put them on top of the refrigerator. No big deal. That was Friday. Everything was great all weekend until Monday. Okay. When Jamie dropped the kids off, that's when hell started breaking loose. Now, I don't want to lead you into thinking anything different. You're going to hear everything I just told you, but that's just the facts, y'all. The material evidence, that is. So anyway, you're going to be hearing now the letter from Sandy Rzucek to Baumover. And of course, it's not recorded in her own words, so I read it out. Girls to Chris's sister Jamie, who never met Celeste or Uncle Frankie, our son. Before the year started, back to school, dance, classes, etc. It was the best time was now. We were thrilled. Shanann stayed the week here, then weekends with Chris's parents. The first weekend was great with Chris's dad and family. However, the following weekend was a different story. Saturday was rough for Shanann. She was protecting her children from peanuts in every form. Ice cream, a bowl full of nuts, and open razor blades just laying around the house. Shanann called her father, "Come pick me up now, please." Shanann said Cindy was trying to give the kids ice cream with peanut chips in it. Shanann asked Cindy, "What kind of ice cream is that?" And Cindy said, "Oh, relax, it's just ice cream." Shanann said, "Please let me read the ingredients." Cindy told my daughter that she was scary. So the girls walked outside to play with Jamie, Aunt Chris's sister. So after Shanann got done explaining to Cindy how dangerous peanut allergy is to the girls, Cindy ignoring Shanann. Shanann went outside and Jamie walked in. So the girls walked back in, and as Shanann walked in the kitchen, noticed a large bowl of peanuts now sitting on the table. That wasn't there 2 minutes before. So Shanann called me and explained everything. She said, "Mom, I'm being double teamed," and I said, "What?" She told me everything. But when she told me about the razor blades, I said, "What?" She changed the subject really quick because my daughter knows I would have been there and caused a big scene. I love my family, protection. I said, "Dad's on his way." She got home here and was beside herself. I was furious along with her that someone that you trust would try to get a child sick or die feeding them peanuts. Razor blades? Shanann told 4 people this, me, Frank, Sandra, G, and Nikki. She called Chris that night, and she was so upset Chris said he would handle it. So Shanann didn't ever go back again to see them. None of Chris's family came to Cece's birthday party, and Cindy sent Cece's package out to Colorado, which is still there in the box at their house. So Shanann and the girls and us had a wonderful time the rest of their trip. So Sandy was told that Cindy was pretty much chasing the kids around trying to give them ice cream with peanuts in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what else? There was razor
blades.
And Jamie, when the kids went outside, Jamie was running around the house sneaking nuts.
Bowls of nuts on the table.
Yes, that's
So where do you start with all this garbage lies?
wow, man. Let me tell you, Cindy's not sounding well right now, right?
No. Well, you can start off with Jamie dropped the kids off because Jamie had to go to work. So
Yeah.
Jamie wasn't in the house.
No, she wasn't even there. She was at work.
No,
so
that's right.
How was she running around planting nuts all over the house?
And the bag of pistachios is what her kids brought in because that's what they eat.
Yeah.
So it's not something that was there the week before or that week.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the razor blades, like literally like planting them around in the house so the kids can get a hold of them. That's wow. Like,
yeah,
what?
They had a glass top oven or stove, I should say.
Yes.
And you need, it is like a razor blade, but it has like a plastic handle on it to hold on to. And I think she had it in a bowl or something on top of the stove.
Yes.
You know, but that's the only razor blade. Like,
yeah. And you're going to hear that from Cindy in just a minute. Yeah.
But you don't hear that coming from anybody else's mouth, including Shanann's text messages.
Now, people
about razor blades.
Exactly. You don't. Now, keep in mind, everyone, please understand everything you're hearing here is stuff that all of these people were told, right? All of these people, for the most part, is going to be at this birthday party for Cece. So if this is what all these people has been told, that's going to be at Cece's birthday party, and you're trying to kill them and you're running around trying to feed them nuts and planting nuts and throwing razor blades everywhere, and you're literal words trying to kill your grandchild, it'd be hard to show your face at this birthday party, right? I mean, I'm just saying.
Well,
I wouldn't feel comfortable going either. I mean, anyway, go ahead, Dave. I'm sorry.
one thing with Sandy is like she's the grandmother. She's the one that's saying all this stuff. I think it'd be very important if she actually knew what the kids were allergic to, because she's going around saying peanuts. Peanuts are dug from the ground. They're not something from a tree. So there is a big difference. They could, like Ronnie, like I think it was Ronnie. I don't remember. Sorry. One of them are sitting around eating peanuts, but there's no effect on the kids at all. Okay. It's the stuff that grows above the ground. Sorry, that's my 2 cents.
Yeah, and that's correct. I mean, that's correct. Even pecans, which is used hugely, but many places, I was looking at a photo just the other day where they were in a grocery store, I think, and there was these little cake pops that were dipped in pecans and all that, and the kids were grabbing at them. I mean, that's getting a little close right there, right? To be, with that kind of thing. I'm just saying it is. But anyway, this is going to be silence because this is something Addie said, so I'll read it out real fast. Addie was aware of a severe falling out between Shanann and Chris's parents. Cece had a tree nut allergy. Shanann went to North Carolina to visit her family and Chris's family. Shanann had provided Cindy Watts, Chris's mother, with a list to shop for food items for their visit due to Cece's allergy. Cindy did not abide by the list, and she purchased generic items that contained things or were made in places where things were made that Cece could not eat. Shanann ended up shopping for food for Cece. Cindy served ice cream with nuts in it to the other cousins, and Cece threw a fit not being able to have it. Shanann told Cindy that she could have bought different ice cream, which they did, or it's set on the other side they did, I don't know, or waited until bed to serve it to the other kids. Cindy told Cece that her mother would not let her have the ice cream. Cindy told Shanann that it was a good lesson for Cece to experience that she does not always get what she wants. Shanann had indicated that Chris was supportive of her over the matter involving Cece's allergy and his mother, but then submitted to his mother. Chris's parents have not liked Shanann. Okay, so that's Addie. So yeah. Okay, Cassie. Let's go back to Cassie because she also didn't do a. We don't have a recording of her. Well, okay, with regard to his and Shanann's relationship with the in-laws, and this is just like in a supplemental report from the notes they've taken. It says there was an incident with Shanann and the girls while Shanann and the girls were in North Carolina. Chris's mother had ice cream in her house that Cece was allergic to. Cece was allergic to tree nuts and kiwi. Cece was the type of kid who would lunge to get the ice cream, and her reaction to tree nuts was getting worse each time she saw the allergist. Okay, my opinion here, I have to agree with Cindy. Like you do, if you have a child that is that severely allergic to things. I mean, obviously, Bella, she's not a hell of a lot older than Cece, right? What, like not even 2 years. She already knew. She was already well aware of what Cece could have and couldn't, right?
Well, that's one thing too, is because the Rzuceks lived with them for 18 months, they both should have known exactly what they were allergic to.
Right.
And especially with having all them dogs there.
Oh yeah. Cece was not too young to already start training her. And I hate to use the word training, teaching, that's a better word. Teaching her, don't grab for things, ask mommy first, because honestly, it could happen anywhere at any time. Like I was saying at the bakery when they were going by these things, and the little cake pops with the pecans or whatever. Like, you can't just grab anything, not when your allergy is to a point to where if you're just close to it, you could go anaphylactic. You got to start teaching them quick. And again, as I say, Bella knew, and she's not a hell of a lot older than CC, One of his sister's kids ate ice cream next to CC, and Shanann said that the kids could no longer visit his parents. When he arrived in North Carolina, his parents told him that they hadn't seen the kids for 2 weeks, and he was hurt because he wanted his parents to see their grandbabies. He went to visit his parents and sister without Shanann and the girls. Shanann discussed how Watts' mother gave Celeste ice cream with nuts in the ingredients. Shanann felt that this was done in defiance of Shanann's warnings of Celeste's food allergies. Shanann told Watts, "You should call your dad and tell him you did not appreciate your mom putting your daughter at risk today, nor do you like that she teased our girls. You should also say that you don't appreciate her saying that they have to learn that they can't always get what they want," referring to the ice cream. They are 2 and 4. Well, CC was like a week off from being 3. And that makes a difference when they're toddlers. It does make a difference. Watts would reply, "I will call him and tell him what I think about this. It's not effing cool at all, because it is the kids, and I will set this straight." And he did. He did. He called his parents, and Cindy said he pretty much cussed her out about it. And he didn't speak to him again until he got there that last day he went to see him. Okay, so now we're going to be listening to Chris's side, people. So there again, like I said, we're going to hear both sides. Then we're going to see Shanann's words through her screenshots, and then we're going to see what you think about it.
I just knew that his mom, Cindy, were fighting again, because Cindy had called me and told me that they had started fighting again, and I kind of was a little upset with Chris, because I text Chris and just let him know, like, "Hey man, this has got to stop. Like, I'm tired of hearing this." And he reached back to me and said he understood, he knew what was going on, and he kind of clued me in on him and Shanann are going to separate and get a divorce. And that's when I told him, like, "Well, I'm here if you need to talk, man." And he said he would reach out to me some more, but he never really did after that.
Okay. Yeah. What were Shanann and Cindy fighting about?
She said that, and this is coming from Cindy, that Cece had a food allergy to chocolate, and I guess Cece ate a whole bowl of Hershey Kisses, and Shanann came into the living room and was just yelling at Cindy and, telling her she's trying to kill her baby or something like that because of the food allergy. And Cindy had no idea, and she claimed she had no idea about it. And they had this huge argument, and she ended up kicking Shanann out of the house, telling her, to leave. And then shortly after that, Cindy called me crying and afraid, because she was afraid she had just lost Chris, that, Shanann was going to, turn Chris against her, like what has happened in the past. And
okay.
So she had called me crying and just letting me know, and then that's when I just text Chris, like, "Hey man, like, what's going on, dude?" And yeah.
This is all like here.
Oh God, here she goes. Anyway, Mark, in case some of you may not know, That is Chris's best friend. They were best friends since they were 8 years old. Mark and Chris's mother were also best friends um, since childhood. So this family goes back a long, long way. And when he says Cindy called him, well, a lot of people was like, what the hell is she doing calling Chris's friends? Here's the thing. Mark was basically like her other son, still is. Because as I say, his mom and Cindy were like best friends growing up. And then Chris and Mark grew up together. So it's like her second son. Okay, so that's why she went to him. I guess she really didn't have anyone else to talk to about it, other because I don't think they really talk about their private life very much at all. So that's why she went to him. Now, Mark was, you heard him say chocolate. I don't think he said a damn thing about any kind of nuts, is what he was told. Personally, I think that Cindy was bawling and squalling and upset because she was going to lose Chris again, like she did from the wedding and the kids and all that. And I think that he was just trying to hear what the hell she was saying. And he made out the chocolate and all that. And she probably told him, yeah, last weekend she was in chocolate and she just laughed about it. But yet she told me she was allergic to chocolate. And I think she probably told him about the nuts, but she was bawling and squalling so hard. And he was like, oh my God, here we go again. And he really wasn't even paying that much attention to her because there's always conflict with them. And that's what I think there. What do you think, Dave? You think that's a possibility? I mean, it's what it sounds like to me.
Well, the Hershey Kisses here in Canada, they actually have a thing on the package saying, like it's got a picture of a peanut and then a red X going through it. So it's no worries of any kind of tree nut. I don't know how it is in the States, but I did hear that story before with, well, both were laughing, supposedly, because Cece did have chocolate all over her face. But then again, if it was so important about the nuts, why didn't he mention the nuts? Because he would have talked to Cindy longer than anybody else. So.
Right. And again, what I took out of that is Mark is disgusted with it. He's just tired of hearing about it. And Cindy's probably like a second mom to him too, right? Because they grew up together. And a lot of people.
He's right there in North Carolina too. So.
Yeah, I mean, she's like a second mom, and he's just sick of hearing this shit, you know. And I mean, I did take out of that Cindy was bawling and squalling and scared she was going to lose Chris again. And I think that's one thing to take away from his. You know, I mean, for me it is. Other people may take something else away, but that's what I take away from it. Okay, let's hear this skanker.
Hearsay now because it's like, this is not a conversation. Like, he's telling me this stuff, but who knows exactly what happened. But he went out there to go see his family and her family. And while he was in town, before he went out to North Carolina, I guess his mother had accidentally, like, not exposed her to something with nuts, but had like given a product, I think it was like ice cream, to a different kid that could have traces of nuts or something. I don't know, but it was like his daughter was fine, but she was like in the range of contamination. And I think his wife was very upset about that. I don't know either, but I just know
so maybe I don't know.
Well, and then he ended up seeing them on the last like full day that he was there, and they told him supposedly that she had gotten really upset and then screamed and yelled in front of Chris's sister's kids that are very young, and to his mom and to his dad, and said like, you're never going to see Chris again, you're never going to see me, you're never going to see the babies, and just like threatened them and then like walked off. And I guess that was the incident that happened prior to him coming out there, and then she didn't tell him about it. She just like let it go. And then
okay, what I take away from her is that she knew damn well that Nutgate Nutgate caused one hell of a pandemonium, chaos between Shanann and his family. This is what I'm taking from hers. And she was well aware of that. She even was so aware that she said, "You're not going to see your kids, your mom, your dad." Knew Shanann had already said all this, yet she was also pressuring him. You need to go see your family. You need to go see your family. So to me, from what I took away from what that skanker said, is she was trying to cause more shit between them. I mean, really, that's what I take from her.
She's actually the only one that actually got it right about cross-contamination too, though.
Right. I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm not. What I'm saying is, it sounds like what she's saying is probably what Chris did tell her.
Yes, exactly.
100%. It don't even sound like she's lying about what he told her at all.
Nope.
However, you have to think about everything she said. She knew everything. Like Chris wasn't allowed around his family, his kids wasn't, but yet she was pressuring him to say, "Screw you, Shanann, I'm going over there." Like she knew that was going to cause a fight between them.
Mm-hmm.
So you see where I'm going with that?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, definitely.
yeah. Okay. Now Ronnie's, y'all, it's hard to hear it because in my opinion, it was purposely done. This interview room has some shitty audio. I mean, you can't even really make out what Ronnie's saying. It took me like forever to put these subtitles to it. So, I mean, you can read along with the subtitles and, you know, take it for what you will.
When she come down for a visit, 6 weeks she was down there, and like I said, she was staying like 3 or 4 days with us, 3 or 4 days with her parents. She come down this last time. She'll stay like 3 or 4 days with us. Like first 3 or 4 days, everything's fine. I mean, we can get along good, have a good time. And I can show you a video here of the grandkids with my wife and stuff. I don't remember doing that one kid. I let that happen. And so everything was good at the beginning of the trip? Yeah, well, I mean, every time she'd come over, it was just a matter of time for something. We'd blow up. Followed by a trampoline form, a swimming pool, this little pool and stuff, and another TV for another room with a bigger TV so they could watch and everything. The second time she come up, we had fun, had all kind of videos and pictures of them in the pool. My other 2 grandkids come over. Bella and Cece, that's Shanann's kids, they're 4 and 3. My other 2 grandkids are 10 and 7. Top of them, that's their tattoo right there. The double E's. I'll get on this side for they were finished having kids and all that. But they come over and Cece's got a nut allergy, which we knew about. And my wife had bought some ice cream because actually one of them had nuts in it, but we had it up on the upper shelf, which Cece couldn't get to it. She got in the freezer. And my other granddaughter, Dylan, had a little single serving ice cream cup, a little small thing, just like you buy at Walmart or whatever. And was in the bottom row, and she went there and got one. Other granddaughter. And Cece got upset because she couldn't have one, and so she said, "Well, honey, you can't have that. That means might have nuts in it. We haven't checked it yet. Whatever. So you can't have it." And so they went off on her. So it's not fair she can have one, and my child can have it, and all that kind of stuff. Well, I said, well, maybe it's a learning experience on what you do. I've learned sometimes you can't have everything she wants. And a few minutes later, she came down there and said, "You just trying to kill my child." You're screaming at my wife. And I wasn't there, but this is another about 2 grandkids that she didn't know what to do. And so he said, "You actually think I was trying to hurt one of the children?" And she said, "You just trying to kill my child." And Cindy said, "Well, I think you just need to go and leave." And she asked, "Well, I'm not coming back." That was the second visit. Her daddy had to come get her. And for the rest of 4 or 5 weeks, that was the part of the second week, the next 4 weeks. No contact with her, the 2 grandkids, one of those 2 grandkids, they're 30 miles away. And we planned on going down to the beach with them and everything else, and they took out at my daughter's house and everything. All that got blown out. screamed from there and said, you kind of killed my dad's house. I said, you actually believe that? He said, you see the videos of us. I don't see policy loads of kids. He said, never do that hurt one of the kids. Okay.
But it was still normal, like with the kids. But then.
Okay, Ronnie sat there and he straight up said, Cindy did say, well, maybe you can use this as a learning experience for her, that she can't always get what she wants, and there's some ice cream, and Cindy even said there's ice cream. They had bought CC ice cream that she could have. And Cindy said that she told Chanel, well, just dip her some in a bowl so they can both have some, and, but nobody's denying that Cindy did say that. Right? I mean, they're straight up about it.
When we got to the birthday cake, he was standing in there. He knew that the girls had allergies. She knows more about what their allergies were, but he didn't let them have cake. He didn't let them have certain things because he knew they had allergies, right? We got them popsicles out of the garage because they could have popsicles. And then shortly after the cake, it was time for them to go home because their bedtime is 7-ish o'clock.
Again, on schedule.
On schedule.
So let me
100%.
ask you a question. When you were talking about the birthday cake, when he tells you they can't have it because of their allergies, was it just a sincere, was there anything about that where you would be like, okay, that's odd or anything like that?
No, because we knew the kids had allergies, and he just said, I'm sorry, they can't have cake. And you could tell that they were disappointed. So that at that point I said, okay, well, we have, just ice pops in the freezer outside.
And was that conversation the same conversation you'd always had with him?
Yes, that's what I was going to say. Every birthday party's been the same. They can't have the cake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So it was not abnormal by any means.
Yeah, I've replayed that birthday party in my head 1,000 times since then, just to see was there something that we missed that we could.
We haven't had his birthday party at our house since then.
When the whole thing with my parents happened with my parents called it Nutgate. What happened? Nutgate. What's that? The peanut.
Oh, yeah. With her family?
Yeah.
Pistachio ice cream or whatever.
Yeah,
I haven't heard that.
I guess those people are calling it. Okay. But that was another out. Maybe I could have just stopped everything and just kind of concentrated on helping whatever happened there. Because Shannon had a story, my mom had a story. Whatever happened, I probably asked my 10-year-old nephew. Probably can tell me what actually happened.
Well, and they both have their feelings for good reasons, and they both didn't see it the other person's way. And
maybe I didn't talk to my parents from then on until August 6th. And my dad took that whole week off.
You didn't talk to your parents from then on?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because Janelle was do not talk to them, do not call them, do not do anything.
Is that what she said?
Yeah. And Cece's birthday was 17th, but I think the actual birthday party was a couple days after.
In August?
July.
Yeah.
And my mom or my dad was going to go, but then there was a post on Facebook about allergies and stuff like that. Shannon made, and my dad was like, "No, I just can't do it anymore." Just because
he perceived that as her taking a shot type thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
She always says she never, put those posts directed at anybody. But she had a method.
If you read them, you know who she's talking about.
She had a method to the madness, and you can see it. Mm-hmm. But I wish I could have just took more time just to fix that. Because I wanted my parents to be involved. Since the whole wedding thing, and then up to that, it was my mom and my sister were always combating with Shannon, combating with them. My dad was always cool. He's just like me. He's just go with the flow. I just want everybody to get along type deal.
Chicks, man. I loved your dad. Ronnie's the best. Isn't he? I loved your dad. I'm sorry, keep going.
I just wish I could have when we were at the beach in August, like my dad was supposed to take the whole week off just so we could see the kids and like see me, like we have a cookout at my sister's house or something. And then, but we just pretty much spent 5 days at the beach, and Shanann like booked it. So like, you know, I mean, it's, I don't want to say like punishment for them not to see the kids, but like I wanted them to see it and see them. You know, I wish I could have fixed all that. And I even like when I was at the beach, I told Shanann that it was more like what was going on was more of like I feel like, you know, because my dad's not here, I feel like I've lost like something in my life. I haven't been talked to him for 3 weeks. I haven't been to see the kids for 3 weeks, you know, FaceTime or anything. And I wanted them to be able to have that relationship. And she was pretty much gung ho, and like she tried to kill my daughter by giving her pink. I was like, I don't think she gave it to her.
And that was that her stance, is that your mom
put something in front of CC.
Like to kill her, or
No, just like
didn't care,
like
didn't pay attention.
She thinks that allergies and like this state of age is like people think, oh,
like it's
fine.
made up
Like
kind of
yeah,
thing.
he'll be fine. He'll just have a rash. He'll be fine. I've seen CC, you know, like the first time. Well, I've seen a picture of when he had a cashew the first time. It wasn't good. And then she had kiwi the second time, and then the same thing happened. And I know it's real.
So you know it's serious, yeah.
Yeah, it's not like it wasn't like her throat like closed up, but she broke out in this full body rash. It looked really crazy looking. And luckily, like, you know, nothing with her throat like happened. But
So did that make you angry at your mom for doing that?
yeah, I mean, I just like, Mom, you just gotta. I told her you need to think. You need to like, you know, pay attention. Just because another kid can have something doesn't mean another kid can have something. Because like we were at that birthday party at Jeremy's that Sunday. You know, they had this cake there. Like Bella wanted it so bad. I'm like, can't give it to her because Cece can't have it. She was like, you know, okay. And all the other kids were like, they can't have the cake. You know, like I just kind of took them off and gave them some like one of those frozen pops or something. But you know, it's just like she had to learn that just because one kid can have something, and there's another kid that can't have it for a legitimate reason. Like, you know, she couldn't have done it, but you know. That's the kind of talk I had with her. When Shannon called me, I think it was maybe like middle of July or something when she told me all this had happened. That's when I called my mom and talked to them for a while, and then they're just like, you know, they just couldn't deal with her anymore. Shannon just kind of like, you know, they like flipped out. My nephew told Bella to go hide behind the curtain because I don't think your mom was going to let you come over here again or something like that.
Aww.
So it got heated. Oh, it was bad. Really? Yeah, it was like a last straw. Them, I think.
Like in the same room or over the phone?
No, they were at
they were
really
my
mom's house. Yeah, but Cece and Bella and my niece and nephew were there.
Okay.
How did Shanann find out about the ice cream thing?
Because Shanann was there, and I guess they were all sitting on this couch. It was kind of like a U, and my niece went into the kitchen, and she knew what ice cream was. She'd been there.
So it's not like your mom gave it to her? Like she got her own ice cream?
Yeah, she went in the freezer, got it, went out, and sat beside Cece and started eating. But like, it's just a matter of like, Cece could go like,
right,
like that. I don't know what would happen if she just got it on her hand.
Right.
But like, I know on like the prick test, you know, on the back, it's like a well.
So are they staying there at your parents' house during that time?
Yeah, it was, so they would go from from Sandy and Frank's house for like a few days or 5 days, and then go to my mom and dad's house for a couple of days, kind of back and forth.
So it happened during that time you were there, yeah. Okay.
And so there were so many things that happened, weren't there? That just were little tiny ingredients to this recipe.
Yeah, nothing like.
It's nuts, Chris. I mean, it's just so many things just didn't go your way.
Everything was like somebody was stirring a pot, and it was just.
Yeah. Exactly what it was like.
She didn't say. Okay, Dave, you want to recap Chris real quick?
Well, there's a lot of really good points throughout the whole thing.
There really was. I'll let you take it away. I'll be right back.
Okay, one of the biggest things is the cake. It's a cake, an ice cream cake from Dairy Queen. And again, we go back to what NK said was the cross-contamination, because it may contain pecans, hazelnuts, you know, you don't know because that's what's in that building. It's the same thing with the big deal about the ice cream itself. Now, if you go back to when we were first talking, where Shanann was there with the first week and she was cleaning out everything and throwing stuff in the garbage. Well, what she did is she threw out a bunch of stuff that was in the freezer. This ice cream that the whole big deal is about is an ice cream that it's from Walmart. It's a Walmart brand. And what it is Dixie cups, vanilla Dixie cups. Okay. And because it's a Walmart brand, it's made in a ice cream factory where they actually make other kinds of ice cream. So yes, it can be cross contamination. But in no given time was there ever any pistachio ice cream. The only pistachios is the bag of pistachios that were brought in the house by Jamie's kids that got put on top of the fridge. Okay, so we're talking vanilla ice cream in a Dixie cup. And what it was is that, again, Cece had a meltdown because she wanted hers in a cup. That's all it was. Nothing else, nothing more. The whole thing is with Shanann, she saw that ice cream in there and she put them to the back because she knew that Ronnie ate it and so did Jamie's kids. So when Jamie's kids come over, yes, one went into the back. It wasn't Cindy, like he said. It was one of Jamie's kids that went into the back and got the last Dixie cup and sat down and started eating it. That's all it was. Nothing else, nothing more. That is your Nutgate, plain and simple. So if you got a bag of pistachios that were put on the kitchen, like on the table, put on the fridge, yet when they were over at Frankie's or Frank's house, in Frankie's bedroom, there's a bag on his dresser. And yet there was no blowout over that. And I don't know if anybody, like, if you're subscribed to our Facebooks, actually put pictures of Frankie's bedroom where he's in there playing with the girls. But the whole thing is, why didn't she blow up over that with him? It goes back to Cindy and Ronnie again, where she's trying to exclude them again, what she had done the last time she was there. Over this wedding crap. By the sounds of it, we'll probably be doing a thing about the wedding and the bridal showers and all that other stuff too. Because
Yes.
again, that's a bunch of baloney garbage too. So
Yeah, that's kind of off the hook. Yeah. So well, very well done, Dave. I mean, you pulled out a lot of good points right there. So yeah, that was well done. But we have to take his and compare it to the rest of the material evidence, see what we got to work with here.
So if she's telling everybody one story, they all should be talking the same. Instead, you have all these different versions, and the biggest missed one was the razor blades all over the house.
Yeah, I mean, just to be very honest, the first set of stories we heard were all very different.
Mm-hmm.
And so far, these has all been pretty much the same, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, pretty much. Okay. Hey, Megan. Okay. All right. Okay, I want to let y'all know before we do this one right here, this is a clip from another channel creator. A lot of you, I mean, it doesn't matter what you think about her. I don't care if you're a fan. It doesn't matter. It's the interview we're listening to, okay? I will leave her link in the description box below. This is I will recommend going to listen to this whole interview. I've only got like 5 minutes of it here, just for the clip and just for the purpose of the topic of the night. But I do recommend going to listen to it, the whole interview. And if one of you mods, if somebody could please drop Miss Mintz's link, I do have it also on this that you're about to see. But still, if you would drop it, because we want to give her full credit for this interview, okay? This is all her. She interviewed Cindy. The audio is not that great because she has Cindy on the phone, but you can make it out. So this is Cindy. This is Cindy's words of Nutgate, okay? So, and again, if the mods somebody could please drop Miss Mitson's link, and let's give her full credit for this video because she's the one that got this interview, not me.
Say, oh my goodness, she's allergic to chocolate. She stood there laughing. She just stood there laughing.
I said, oh my God. And then I saw Shanann laughing, and of course I knew then that she wasn't allergic.
So, okay, tell us the truth, Cindy. Did you have razor blades laying all over the house that day?
No, there was one razor blade. It was to clean the stove, and that was it. Just to clean the stove. That stove top that we just got this stove, and you know you have to scrape it to get the stuff off. That was the only razor blade that was there. It was the scraper. That was it. That was the only razor blade. There were no other razor blades except Ronnie's razor in the bathroom.
Tell us about the ice cream. The stories we hear are there were peanuts or pistachios or sprinkled or cones or cups.
There was a bag of pistachios that I had for my grandson, and they were on the countertop, and she said, oh my gosh, Mimi, you have pistachios. I said, I know, put them on top of the stove. And she put them on top of, not on top of the stove, but on top of the refrigerator. And that was the end of it. It was a bag that was unopened for my grandson that I forgot that I had on the countertop. And that was all it was. And there was no bags of peanuts, tree nuts, or anything out in the open.
Well,
I was always right there.
Well, did you give the girls ice cream?
I gave, Dylan went in the freezer and got a vanilla ice cream, a Walmart vanilla ice cream. And yeah, Dylan did get that. When Cece had a meltdown and wanted the same thing, but Cece could have had ice cream because we went to Walmart when they came here, and she had ice cream, not in the same cup, but she had ice cream, and she could have gotten that ice cream. And yes, I did say that you can't always have what you want. I did say that, because Cece had the ice cream that all Shanann had to do was go in there and get Cece her ice cream and put it in a bowl.
Right, and that's right.
That's all she had to do, and nothing would have come of it.
And you took her to Walmart, right? And you spent a ton of money so that she could have exactly what she wanted there.
Absolutely. When they came down here, I said, let's go to Walmart and get everything that you need. And they got everything they wanted and they needed. Everything. There was nothing that I don't know what I could have done. There was nothing she couldn't have had that she didn't already have in our house. She had everything that they needed, and I did the best we could. That's all. I don't know what else I could have done it.
So when the ice cream came out, your daughter-in-law started yelling?
Yeah. She said, I know that this isn't fair. I know this is hard for you, Stacey. And she went on and on and on and on. And that's when I said, you can't have everything that you want. Go back in there. Go give her the ice cream she needs. That she wants. That was it. I mean, I don't know what else I could have done.
What did she say to you before she left?
She said, she came charging down the hallway and said, you tried to kill my child. And then that's when it was over. I was done. I said, I can't take this anymore. When all the arguing was starting, it was Dalton and Dylan said, Della was scared, and she said, I don't want to leave. I want to stay with you guys.
Oh my goodness.
And Dalton and Dylan said, hide behind the dollhouse that she hid.
So she was hiding from her own mom so she wouldn't have to leave and go with her?
Yeah, she didn't want to leave. She wanted to stay because she loved Dalton and Dylan. Oh my gosh, she loved playing with them, and so did Cece. They were having a great time. They were having the time of their life, playing with the dollhouse and playing in the pool, trampoline, all of it. I remember Cece coming up to me and I said, I'm going to see you at your party. And she was just laughing and just smiling. And I said, I will see you there. And I wanted to be there. We all wanted to be there. But then, the text messages, not the text messages, but the Facebook posts started coming and coming and coming.
But then,
and I honestly, I do.
But then you did go to Myrtle Beach as planned, right?
Yeah, we went to Myrtle Beach, and they were 5 miles away, and we were still not allowed to see them. And I wish, again, that we would have said, heck with what anybody thinks. I'm just going. You know, what can anyone do? I'm going. I'm going to see them. But we didn't. We didn't do any of that, and I regret all of it. Every single bit of it. I wish we would have been there. I wish we would have just said, I'm going to see those kids the first time at the beach. I wish we would have said that, but we didn't. And it breaks my heart every single day. And my heart is broken every day for those because we wanted to see them, and no one would allow us to see them. And it's only when Chris called us, you know, and said, I love you guys. And, she won't allow you to see them. And so we didn't do it. I mean, we should have just went. If I could have known any of this could have happened, I wouldn't know what happened when. I mean,
During the summer of 20.
Yeah, so there's a lot there.
It's actually hard to listen to with Cindy
is.
being so upset.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm a grandparent, and it's honestly, her story is still, it's fitting in the lines of what everybody was told over there.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't heard it change. Like, if Cindy was lying, why would she literally admit, I did say that? I did. And I didn't go, and I regret it. Like, if I had it to go over, I wished I would have went.
Mm-hmm.
If I would have, it's just, it's hard to listen to it. It really is. Okay, now this next piece here, this is from a vlog. Some of you may know of Dell, okay? She has a vlog on this site called Buy Me a Coffee, and you can type in her name or Slippery Slopes and find her. It's only like $5, and she has like a book over there of her opinions of researching the hell out of this case from one end to the other. And this is her opinion and thought on Nutgate. Okay, so I did let a computer read this out because at the time my house was just too loud for me to do it, but the computer does a good job. But yeah, Cindy's hard to listen to, y'all. I mean, you can feel the pain. I mean, you can literally feel it. I can, coming from her. But here you go. Listen to this one. Again, if her opinion is anything, that interests you, I do recommend going to her place. You'll see it up here at the top on the right, and checking her out. Her blog is definitely thought-provoking. I'll put it that way. And she has done a hell of a job researching this case from top to bottom. So, and I want to give her credit for this one. Okay, here we go.
2018, Shannon and her children will fly to North Carolina for 6 weeks. Chris stayed behind in Colorado and would join him July 29th through August 7th. Both Chris and Shannon's families lived in North Carolina, and the plan was for Shannon and the girls to stay with the Watts on the weekends and the Rzuceks during the week. They arrived at the Rzucek house on June 26th, and on the 29th they stayed with Ronnie and Cindy for the first time at their home in Spring Lake. The distance between Aberdeen and Spring Lake is 33 miles and the drive time is approximately 40 minutes. Their first weekend visit with Chris' family was good and remained uneventful until Monday the 3rd of July. Shannon was due to return to her parents' home that afternoon, and Cindy Watts was getting prepared for the funeral of a neighbor. Cindy had an appointment to get her hair done at a salon and had several other errands to attend to that day. She asked Shannon if she would prefer to be taken back to Aberdeen before Cindy was due for her hair appointment. Shannon told her mother-in-law that she would wait until Cindy was finished with her errands. Cindy went on to the salon while Shannon and the girls stayed behind at the Watts' home. After leaving the hairdresser's, Cindy picked up a flower arrangement for the funeral and traveled to the car dealership where Ronnie Watts was employed, to sign some paperwork for a new car they had just purchased. Cindy had forgotten her cell phone at the salon and couldn't be reached while she picked up flowers and took care of other tasks. During that time, Shannon had attempted to call her mother-in-law to inquire when she would return home. Shannon was ready to get back to Aberdeen and had become angry that Cindy had been gone for so long. Shannon left several messages conveying her anger for being left alone with her daughters for so long. The messages were mean and rude and meant to hurt Cindy. Not being able to reach Cindy by phone, she called Ronnie's place of employment. She was upset and yelled at him for being left with her children alone for 5 hours. Shannon's tone of voice irritated Ronnie, who was then short with his daughter-in-law, telling her that he didn't understand why she was upset as they were her own children. Cindy arrived at the dealership, called her daughter Jamie, and asked if she would go by the salon and pick up her phone and bring it to her when she stopped by later. Jamie agreed. Ronnie told Cindy about Shannon's angry call and Cindy phoned her daughter-in-law to apologize. Shannon was still angry, making Cindy cry over the phone. Shannon and the girls eventually made it to Aberdeen and they enjoyed the remainder of the week with Shannon's parents and brother. They celebrated the 4th of July together, and on Friday the 6th, Bella, Cece, and their mom returned to the Watts home for their planned weekend visit. The girls enjoyed their weekend with their grandparents, playing in the pool and jumping on the trampoline that Ronnie and Cindy had purchased specifically for their visit. Shannon and Cindy had a long talk Sunday evening after the girls were in bed. Both women enjoyed the conversation and Cindy felt like the two of them were closer than they had ever been. Monday the 8th of July started out like any other day. The girls played outside on the trampoline and swam in the pool. Sometime in the late morning hours, Jamie stopped by to drop off her 2 children on her way to work. Now that Cindy had retired, she babysat her 2 oldest grandchildren while their mother worked at the hospital as a respiratory therapist. With the arrival of the 2 other kids, Shannon's mood soon changed. And not for the better. Cece and Bella were due to take their afternoon nap about noon. Cindy prepared a lunch of hot dogs on the patio. The oldest granddaughter, Dylan, finished her lunch and went inside to grab her usual treat, a single-serve cup of great value vanilla ice cream. When Cece sees the ice cream, she asks for one and Cindy has to refuse. Shannon had stressed the importance of following Cece's strict dietary restrictions. Cindy had taken Shannon shopping for food the week prior, paying for any and everything her daughter-in-law and grandchildren may need, including an ice cream safe for Cece to eat. It's worth pointing out that the great value ice cream at the center of the conflict that day didn't contain tree nuts. It was plain old vanilla. It did have a cross-contamination warning as the processing facility also processed foods that could contain tree nuts. Cece didn't take too well to being told no, and we can see that in many of Shannon's videos. Apparently, this day was no different. Celeste began to throw a tantrum and this caused Shannon to lose her patience. But instead of scolding her child and putting her to bed, Shannon aimed her irritation at her mother-in-law for not taking the ice cream away from the other child. Shannon demanded Cindy take the treat and put it back in the freezer until Cece went down for her nap, to which Cindy refused. Shannon herself didn't take kindly to being told no, either, causing the situation to escalate. Shannon and Cindy argued loudly, with Cindy telling her daughter-in-law in no uncertain terms that Cece needed to learn she couldn't always have what she wanted. This prompted Shannon to text her husband in Colorado to complain about his mother. Chris phoned his mother to ask what was going on and Cindy repeated what she had just told Shannon. It was time for Cece to learn the word no. Shannon alternated between arguing with her husband's mother and using passive-aggressive tactics while speaking to Celeste. She repeated to her 2-year-old that she knew it wasn't fair for the other child to eat ice cream that Cece wasn't permitted to have. This caused Cece to continue having a tantrum. Shannon finally took Cece to the bedroom where they had been sleeping during their visit, but soon came storming down the hallway yelling that Cindy had tried to kill Cece. This was the last straw for Cindy, who had done no such thing and took offense to what Shannon was accusing her of. Cindy told Shannon that it was time for her to leave and go back to her parents' home. The argument had happened in front of all of the children, causing Dalton, Jamie's oldest child, to tell Bella to hide behind the curtains so she didn't have to leave with her mother. He also expressed to his younger cousin that he didn't think her mom would let her come back. He was right. Shannon packed their suitcases and continued to tell Cindy that her kids would never be allowed to come back and that she and Ronnie wouldn't see the girls again. Shannon had phoned her father and demanded he come and pick her and the girls up. She took their belongings outside and she waited on the porch for her father to make the 40-minute drive from Aberdeen. While waiting on the porch for her ride, Shannon went on Facebook and began her smear campaign against her mother-in-law, turning the entire story upside down and adding details in order to make it dramatic and to ensure that Cindy would look like a monster. Notice that Shannon has embellished the truth extensively. Dylan did not have ice cream containing tree nuts. She had laughed it off the weekend prior when Cece helped herself to 12 Hershey's Kisses while her grandma showed her mom the bedroom they would be sleeping in. Shannon had told Cindy that Cece couldn't eat Hershey's chocolate because of a cross-contamination concern. So when Cece ravages an entire bowl of Hershey's Kisses as soon as she hits the front door and Shannon thinks it is hysterical, Cindy knows that her daughter-in-law hadn't been telling the truth about something, pissing Shannon off to no end. She wasn't used to being questioned about anything. Ever. Cindy hadn't done anything wrong that day. She had admitted many times that she had very little patience. Cece was Chris' department. But Shannon needed a reason why she wouldn't be to blame for the tantrum she had just thrown in her in-law's home. So she embellished, to put it nicely. She also continues to post articles about deadly allergy incidents as a way to stir the pot and bring attention to the conflict between herself and her in-laws. Chris, who is back in Colorado, is inundated with calls and texts from his wife complaining about his mom and now his dad, who she sees as just as guilty because he has refused to take Shannon's side over his wife's. Shannon tells Chris not to call or text his family. She wants him to cut off all contact effective immediately. And he does. For 3 weeks. This isn't the first time she has made her husband choose between her and his parents. But this time was different. Chris would make time to see his family while he was in North Carolina, despite Shannon's best efforts to keep them apart. The day after Nutgate, Shannon doesn't let up on her Facebook campaign to teach her in-laws a lesson. Cece's birthday party was scheduled for July 15th. Shannon had ceased her Facebook campaign against Cindy Watts days prior to the party. Cindy, who doesn't like confrontation, didn't want to cause a scene at her grandchild's birthday party and so elected not to go. Cindy was aware of all of the Facebook postings about Cece's allergy and knew Shannon had been talking about it to anyone who would listen. Ronnie still planned to attend the birthday party and was bringing the gifts they had purchased for Celeste. However, on the morning of the party, Shannon resumed her Facebook postings about Cece's allergy, making it clear that she was still upset about the situation. When Ronnie sees Shannon's posts, he decides he too should skip the party. Shannon had made him out to be careless, unfeeling, and dangerous grandparents. The Watts didn't want to participate in whatever drama Shannon may have cooked up. Their absence from the party set Shannon off on a new tangent. She seemed to have expected him to show up despite her digs at them on social media, and when they didn't, it gave her a whole new supply of ammunition to use against them. I'm confused about what Shannon's purpose was when she began sharing allergy posts again on the morning of Cece's party. Did she want her in-laws to see the posts and not come so that she was vindicated in all of the terrible things she was saying about them? Did she think they would actually show up after seeing their daughter-in-law vilify them on social media? On July 17th, Shannon met with Sandra Gironda for dinner at Sandra's family's restaurant. Shannon had worked for them as a hostess when she was 15. The two sat on the patio and talked about how long it had been since they had seen one another. Shannon talked about how happy she was being a wife and mom and how excited about the success of her business. Their conversation gets around to Shannon and her relationship with her mom now that Shannon is a mom as well. Shannon tells Sandra that she and her mother are very close, much closer than they were in the past. She also tells Sandra how thankful she is to have a mom like Sandy. My mother-in-law and sister-in-law are a different story together, Shannon starts with. Naturally, Sandra asks what she means. She tells her friend that her mother-in-law and sister-in-law had never accepted her and how hard it was for the family to deal with the strife. She goes on to say Cindy undermines her as a wife and mother every chance she gets. When the topic of how Ronnie reacts to his wife and daughter and their treatment of her, Shannon says he is a wonderful man and is good to her. She adds that Cindy rules the roost, and that Ronnie would pay no attention to his wife and daughter's opinions of her. Remember, Chris has a very close relationship with his father, and the only trouble he had ever given Shannon in the 8 years they had been together was when he wasn't permitted to speak to his dad. When asked how Chris handles the situation, Shannon brags about him calling him her rock, and talks about how he put her and the kids first, and that was the reason her mother-in-law and sister-in-law created so much tension. Shannon also says that the women in her husband's family had told her many times that she wasn't good enough for Chris and that she dragged him down and didn't really love him. She then claims they often tell her that Chris deserved better. Shannon keeps going. She says that Chris was happy to move to Colorado because his mother wasn't a nurturing mother to him when he was a child. She called Cindy possessive and controlling, and said Chris was happy to get away from their negativity. Sandra expressed her sympathies to Shannon and Chris for having to deal with the animosity and suggested that Shannon allow Chris to lead the way when dealing with his family. Shannon also says that when they come down on him, it affects their marriage. At this point in the conversation, Shannon begins to talk about how Cindy has made it a point to make Bella and Cece feel less than throughout their lives. She continues saying Cindy just went through the motions of acting like a good grandma for Chris' sake, but that her actions speak louder than words. And that her sister-in-law was the same way. Sandra asks Shannon for an example, and Shannon says that despite knowing how they feel about her and with Chris being in Colorado, she didn't want to deprive her daughters of time that could be spent with his family, so she arranged to visit with them a week prior. She said the visit was going smoothly at first, but could feel the tension in the air and the ill feelings about her and how they interacted with Bella and Cece. She claims to have kept a brave face and a positive attitude during the visit, hoping they could work toward building bridges and bring some peace to the situation. Shannon continues, telling her friend that she caught her mother-in-law handing Bella and Cece ice cream with nut pieces in it. Shannon says she asked Cindy if there were nuts in the ice cream, to which she said, just a little, and Shannon was forced to take the ice cream away. She goes on to say that Cindy followed the girls, still trying to give them the ice cream, and Shannon had to send the girls out of the room. She claims to have told Cindy, you know they're deathly allergic to all nuts, it can send them into anaphylactic shock. I do not understand how you think it's okay to give them ice cream with nuts in it. Please respect the dietary restrictions and please ask me before offering food to the girls and I'll let you know if they can eat it. She then says Cindy dismissed her statement with a wave of her hand. The story has completely changed and will change continuously. Also, notice that she told Sandra G that both girls were allergic. Shannon then says she joined her daughters and sister-in-law out on the patio and her sister-in-law got up and went inside the house. Jamie had only dropped her kids off and had left for work almost immediately. Bella told Shannon that she was thirsty, and when they went inside to get a drink she saw her sister-in-law putting a large bowl of nuts out on the kitchen table. She claims her only course of action was to get the girls and go to her parents. She goes on to say that she had sent them MSG after MSG begging them to attend Cece's party. She says she had decided to not go back until Chris got to North Carolina. Shannon asks Sandra if she was wrong for not returning to the Watts home. Shannon appears extremely hurt by the actions of her husband's family. The two of them then turn the conversation to a more pleasant topic and enjoy their time together. On the evening of July 24th, Sandra, Geronda and Shannon meet for dinner again. This time Shannon tells Sandra that the in-laws were no-show to Cece's party and how hurt Shannon is for the girls' sake. She also adds that she has made up her mind not to go with Chris and the girls when they go to visit his family because she wants them to enjoy their visit without the tension. She says she wished that her mother and sister-in-law would get over it already and accept that she and Chris have a great marriage, beautiful happy girls, and a new baby to look forward to. The two women plan for a third dinner date the following Tuesday, the night Chris will arrive in North Carolina. Shannon wanted Sandra to meet her husband and daughters and show them the place that held so many happy memories for her. At 6 p.m. on July 29th, Shannon, Chris, and their daughters met Sandra again at her family's restaurant. Sandra remembers Chris being quiet and unassuming and seemed to be enjoying being back in the company of his wife and children. She will tell investigators in a 6-page letter after the murders that they seemed like a normal, happy family. So, now that you've read along with me while I summarized Sandra Geronda's letter to law enforcement, do you see where the trouble is regarding Nutgate? She embellished depending on whom she was speaking to and made herself out to be the peacekeeper in the situation. Also the victim. But wait, she isn't done. She has many people to tell her version of events and it is fluid. It changes constantly and that is the only constant. On New Year's Eve of 2017, Shannon made prime rib. She used a rub to season it. On the packaging for that rub, it warns of cross-contamination of tree nuts.
Okay, there was a lot of people asking about this blog. I have to say this is a very small portion of this blog. As I say, she truly knows this case from one end to the other. And she summarizes like literally every inch of the case, and then she puts it together in her own thoughts, and things like that. I'm going to put her link to this blog right here in the chat, and yeah, it's $5. It is $5. However, like I say, that is a very small portion of it. Like if you're into this case and you're into just really, studying it in a whole, every piece of it, I recommend it. You may not agree with everything she says, and that's cool, on her thoughts and opinions, but she definitely puts the facts out there. That's undeniable. Irrefutable facts is there. and she will say how she feels about it as well. So, but there is her link if you're interested in checking out her blog. It's huge. It's broke up. Like this one was part of Nutgate. There's it hits everything, y'all. So
You've done a really, really, really good job with all these videos tonight. I'm very, very impressed.
wow. Well,
Thank you, Kim.
thank you. Welcome back, Nelly. Nelly Bug.
Sorry about that. My washing machine started smoking.
Oh goodness. Oh gracious. Everything okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
You were supposed to take your husband out of his clothes before you throw him in the washer.
All right.
Okay, we're almost done with this little clip here, so we'll go ahead and get it finished up here. And this is July the 9th. Just for a little recap, Nutgate was on July the 8th, which was on a Monday. This is the day after Nutgate. And so remember, Nutgate was on the 8th, and Cece's birthday party was on the 15th. So you got a week, in between everything. This is a tree nut allergy support group, and a lot of you's already read this. My 2.5-year-old severely anaphylactic to most all tree nuts, and we're visiting the in-laws. I specifically said we can't have them in the house when we stay. My mother-in-law stated we don't buy them, so I specifically mentioned the ones that she is deathly anaphylactic to. I arrived, and on the floor shelf of her center island was a big bag of pistachios, a big bad one. I removed it immediately. Today, she lets her other granddaughter eat an ice cream that has all tree nuts in front of and next to my 2.5-year-old child, that's going to be 3 next week, that can't have them. I said, I don't appreciate it, and I removed my daughter. Her response was, she has to learn she can't always get what she wants. I'm beyond furious. And she's telling me that I'm overreacting when my child's life is at risk. This is the day after Nutgate. Here she says, trust me, my favorite nuts are tree nuts, but they are not in my house at all because my child's life is more important than a nut. Going on to say, my heart is still racing 30 minutes later and tears of anger. And going on to say, not everywhere is safe, but I think their home and a party at a grandparent's house should be. Not that I expect grandparents' houses to be nut-free, but nut-safe would be nice. And hidden and not eaten in front of. She says it's incredibly sad, and to say that my daughter needs to learn she can't always get what she wants. F you are teasing my kids at a toy store. That is fine, but letting a little girl eat ice cream in front of her and 5 inches away. But Cindy did offer to, or according to Cindy, she did offer to fix her a bowl of her ice cream that they had bought for her. And then she says, my 4-year-old isn't missing anything. Oh, I bite my tongue because my kids are little, but this is the last time my kids will set foot in her house. This is going to be July the 9th again. I can't protect Celeste from everywhere we go with her allergies, but I will protect her and where she sleeps. Anaphylaxis is a rare but severe allergic reaction. It can occur suddenly and can worsen quickly and can be deadly. Celeste is severely anaphylactic to all tree nuts and kiwi. This is not new. This is a post she shared from a site called Thanks Mom 6 Reasons Food Allergy Moms Rock. This is July the 10th, the next day, 2 days after Nutgate. Again, 2 days after Nutgate, sharing another article. That time my kid touched a Kit Kat and could have died. This is one she shared just on her main page for everyone to see, July the 10th. It's already been one crazy busy week. Stressful yet amazing. Had so much fun with my parents and kids today. Now they are swimming with Pop Pop. I love, love, love having the energy, mood, support, patience, and just feeling great. Thrive allows me to create so many memories with my kids. As a mom, we have to be on our A game, and I definitely am these days. Now, see that, I don't know, that now they're swimming with Pop Pop. You know, Ronnie and Cindy were very proud that they bought that pool and that trampoline just for their visit there that summer. And I know you've all saw the pictures out there with Ronnie and Cindy both in the pool with the kids on the trampoline. But we're having so much fun with my parents, and now they're swimming with Pop Pop. I don't know. To me, that's kind of like I don't know. Look what you're missing. I don't know. Maybe I've taken it wrong, but that's how I would take it. July the 15th. This is the day of Cece's birthday party. And she posts this on her page. Alicia, I need this shirt and one for Celeste. Please don't offer me food without asking my mom first. Food allergy kid. And then the shirt says, exclude the food, not the child. Also the day of the birthday party. Thank you so much, Shannon, for making cupcakes for Celeste for her birthday and making them extra special, nut-free, and with love. You are the best.
What do you want, Cece? It's okay. What would you like? We gotta wipe it. You want more cereal? I'll wipe it. It's a boo-boo. Cece, are you hungry? Celeste. Hey, are you hungry? Yeah. Cereal. Go wipe it. Chris Kelso, thanks for the tip. Yes, baby. You did it? Good job. Say hi to everybody.
Hi, buddy.
Say hey, everybody.
Hi, everybody. Hi, buddy. Hi, buddy.
Everybody, let's invite Nana and Papa.
Papa.
My first prime rib tonight. It's 11.5 pounder. Never made prime rib before, so let's cross our fingers that it turns out okay. Hey, Jay, prime rib. Oh, please. You want your milk? There's the prime rib.
Mommy, this is
the dry rub I got, which I'm sure you have a better one. But salt, sugar, black pepper, spices, bell pepper, garlic, onion, and mustard seed. It's made for prime rib. I got it from Costco. So,
And of course, we've all seen this before. Now, this is Bella. 5 minutes later, not even the whole 15 minutes. I hate it every time. She's definitely allergic to tree nuts. That is Bella. Now, the other one was Cece, but that's Bella.
That's Bella, yet she was talking as if it was Cece.
Yeah, but that's Bella. The other one was Cece. It's safe to say that Celeste has a severe allergy to cashews. She's small to Tic Tac cashews. I'm sure everybody has read this before, but this is where she was at the Children's Hospital with Frank Rzucek. And here is where she's talking about. She says, I'm not coming back. I don't have a car. And to say my daughter needs to learn she can't always get what she wants. We've done read that one.
It's okay for her to say it, but not when Cindy says it.
Yeah. She doesn't get it, or she just doesn't care. She said, I was overreacting. I said, when it comes to my children, I will fight anyone that puts them in harm's way. She knows we've been to the hospital twice with these reactions to 2 different foods. Shanann, I think you need to have your husband have a serious conversation with her, lay down the law, and say if she will hold, and if you say it, she will hold something against you. He's her son and she won't mess. And Shanann says, he will. And she refuses to read labels. I gave her a list of pre-approved foods since she insisted on getting before we arrived, and she did get, but they weren't right. So she did take her back to buy over $300 worth of different things. And name brand of items that were safe and she liked. She got none of them. Trust me, my favorite nuts is tree nuts, and we've already saw that one. In addition to her sounding mean, she sounds uneducated about allergies. A lot of people think of allergies as just a rash or bowel trouble, and they just haven't experienced it to know how serious it is. And if they think the parents overreact, and then it does sound like she doesn't understand what could happen, I think this would be a good time for some real education on the subject. And this is other people, giving Shanann their advice. I've had people say and do really dumb things with my allergies because they really don't get it, and I'm an adult. Shanann says, but I have. Her son and I gave her articles and info that we got from the doctor. This is not new. And as you heard earlier, one of them, I think it was Lauren, said this is something they recently found out, or it could have been 8A. I don't remember. NA. She's had these allergies for 2 years. So it's not something they recently found out. And Shanann says, oh, I'm done. I'm waiting on a ride. I'm visiting from across the country, and this is the last time my daughter steps foot in this house. Now, granted, everybody in her list is seeing these comments, and you'll see how we know that. Yeah, she's young, only 60. She completely understands. My husband called her after he got off of work, and he told her that he did not appreciate how she handled the situation and teasing my 2-year-old with ice cream and putting her at risk to exposure. She also has EOE and asthma. Her response to my husband was, "This is a learning experience to my 2-year-old to realize she can't always get what she wants. F you." And then somebody says, "I would be furious." I would be too. I mean, if that was the situation, I would be mad as hell. Shanann goes on to say, "Thank you. She is learning, and she's way too young to comprehend how serious it is because she is little. My mother-in-law, I have sent articles, notes from doctors, information on anaphylaxis and how severe it is, and she understands. She knows I didn't like my father-in-law eating it in front of her without her having an ulterior motive. Alternative is what it says. But anyway, I'm done." And her response to her son set him over the top. Unfortunately, we have done this on multiple occasions. She understands the severity as her daughter is a respiratory therapist. It's frustrating. She told her son when he called that this should be a learning experience for my baby to learn that she can't always get what she wants. Luckily, she's just anaphylactic to tree nuts and kiwi, but those are ingredients in almost everything. It's hard, but it's taught me a lot. Our friends always ask me before offering her something. She's so little and she will grab any food and eat it. And here is where you know that everybody on her friends list has been reading all of this, because Jamie chimes in, Chris's sister, and she says, "I'm really sorry Dylan got the ice cream out that Cece couldn't have." And this little thing here I pointed out, I don't know. And we do know that most of us know that Shanann was she was big on liking her own comments and her own post. But anyway, if you'll notice right here, she's got that like right underneath her where this person says, "You are such a great mom." Shanann, give it a heart. But notice that hers wasn't even acknowledged, right? Not a like, not a comment. It wasn't even acknowledged. Dylan's 10, so she's still a child. So yeah, that is all of that now. During the live, and I think it's a good thing for us to look at. If I can get it pulled up here. Where is it? Yes, here it is. Okay, during the live, Seeking the Truth with Dave sent us this photo. Okay, so right here you'll see this is literally what it was, right? This is the scraper that was on the back of the stove. See, that's what it was. So that is the razor blade that ended up being razor blades all over the house. And that is setting up on the back of the stove by the backsplash. And all credit for that photo, Seeking the Truth with Dave took that photo himself while he was visiting with Ronnie and Cindy. So thank you for that photo, Dave. I think that photo really says a lot as far as, because that's a big deal, razor blades literally being all over the house. Like that's a big deal, right? And let's see. Yeah. I know I pulled up my email for that. And as y'all probably seen, I got a lot of email. All right. We'll leave that there a minute. Dave, Nelly, y'all there?
Yeah.
Okay. Good deal.
This is our second part, by the way, of Nutgate.
Sorry, my mic was still muted.
Okay.
The first
yeah.
one wasn't in as depth as this one is.
Yeah. Yeah, this is part two, y'all. We went into Nutgate when we very first started having What's Wednesdays. We didn't touch on all this material evidence like we did tonight, but we did go over a hell of a lot of it. So it's there in our What's Wednesday playlist.
More or less to stop the pistachio ice cream.
Yeah. But there it is, y'all. And do you see where it's set on the stove? Like, visualize this. This is way at the back of the stove, right by the backsplash or, whatever, all the way at the back. You can see that. So Cece couldn't have reached that, right? And Frank did say that, as Shanann said, you don't have to throw your stuff away. Just put it up to where they can't get to it. And somehow this razor scraper here ended up being razor blades all over the house. So.
But it couldn't have been that bad a deal that Shanann never mentioned it. Only Sandy.
Exactly. Yeah. Dave said it's at the back corner of the stove. And, he was there. Like, he was literally there at their house. He's the one that took this photo, so. We also
have any questions? Sorry, Kim.
Oh, no, it's fine. I was just shooting y'all a text. Okay, we got some photos here. I've just put them together. We'll run through them and kind of talk about for a real split second what each one is. And yeah. This is just a text. As we said, we're going to show her side as well, because that's all we got is her text talking about it. So we're going to obviously show that. And here she's talking to someone, and she said, Chris is bothered by his family shit, and I'm paying for it. I need a stiff drink. And so, yeah, we've done read that one. This is Cece's birthday party. This would have been July the 15th. And I think that's Shanann talking to Chris about it. I'm pretty sure. It says, I won't change a thing. My daughter's life is way more important. And you better believe I wanted to say a whole lot more than I did. But I was being the bigger person and protecting Bella. Bella? I didn't tell your dad not to come to the party. I didn't tell him not to text or call your daughter or her birthday. I didn't tell him to start acting like he only has 2 grandkids instead of 4. I didn't block your family on Facebook. He did. Well, if I was constantly seeing that, I would probably just not want to look at it. Like, I don't know about blocking. I just wouldn't look at it. It's hard not to, I guess. Myself and your kids have nothing to say to them. They do. They owe your kids their life. Your parents' home isn't a safe zone. Your mother isn't safe. You can let them tell you what you want. But I didn't tell anyone to stop loving your kids or acting like it. He did that, not me. So that's her talking to Chris. She goes ahead and says, I'm not going over there, and neither are the kids. And Chris says, oh, no. One of her friends says, is he going to talk to them about the issue and work it out? And Shanann says, who knows? You can't protect someone you're not in love with anymore. He doesn't have the balls. And she goes on to say, his parents don't love him the way he loves them. He's wanting their love and attention so much, and they don't give it. He is seeking their approval. I said, you love me because I'm the mother of your kids. You're not in love with me. I told him I think he enjoyed single life too well, and that I think he may realize he prefers to be alone. He's not in love with me. A person still madly in love can find what to say. He responded, I don't want to lose the kids. I walked away in tears since I couldn't take it anymore. If you're done, don't love me, don't want to work this out, not happy anymore, and only staying because of the kids, I need you to tell me. And I think, yeah, this is Chris and Shanann. Chris says, I will take Uber from the airport. Miss you, love. No, this is Chris is driving, not me. Okay. That's something completely different. I know he's not good at conflict. He avoids it at all costs. He's also better at writing his feelings than talking them at times. I know this about him, but damn, Cass. So this is when she's talking to Cassie. We will see tonight how he is. I just told him life's about making tough choices, and you can't fight for someone you don't love. He's going to have to step out of his comfort zone and defend and protect his family. All he said was, I know. He said last night he will handle it. He's a totally different person from the guy I've known for 8 years. I wouldn't change a thing. Shit. I was a saint. I wanted to tell his mom that she's a narcissist, stupid bitch. I just said we were done and never coming back. I had a lot of choice words I wanted to say to her and your dad for his stupidity. No one stands up to your mom and your dad for that. He's just as guilty by not doing anything. I have nothing to do with him. Stop sharing memories of his grandkids. What does that have to do with me? They are effing with our kids' feelings, and that is not okay. I am their mother, and I will protect them. I have enough to worry about with the world out there, and I'm not going to worry about family. I will just remove it. That's what I text him in the middle of the night. And what did he say? Nothing. Again, this is some of the things she was saying to Chris. She's able and willing to risk your daughter's life just to get under my skin. You and your dad are no different. If you are okay with her behavior, there's nothing wrong with me, and I'm not crazy. I just love my kids way too much. From the day I left, you never said I missed you before I said it. Something changed when I left. You may be happier alone, and that's fine. You can be alone. This pregnancy, you have failed to acknowledge it or to acknowledge how I'm feeling. The first trimester is the scariest and most dangerous yet. We can lose this baby at any point till delivery. I'm not going to be treated this way for having the balls to protect our family and kids. I should get a gold effing medal for handling this the way I did, because I had a lot of choice words that I wanted to say to her. I don't remember if I've read this one. I don't know. You can believe I created this dagger, but I didn't do that. I stood up for our kids. I advocated and protected our children. I don't ever want to hear, I'm sorry, I killed your kid because I was stupid. That would kill me. These kids are my world, and I have to protect them from the evil of the world. I shouldn't have to protect them from our family. Our kids deserve the same love and attention the other kids get, nothing less. I'm not accepting I'm sorry from your mom because she doesn't mean it, and she knew what she was doing. I made it very clear not to eat it around Celeste because she doesn't understand. Way before that happened, she's evil and willing to risk your daughter's life just to get underneath my skin. And this is, as you know, the photo of Bella. And it says that definitely allergic to tree nuts. Here is where she's speaking with someone online. This person says, if you need EpiPens, I got them for $10 a piece because my insurance is the bomb. I can give you some of mine. Just let me know. I can mail you mine. I have multiple brands, new ones just laying around, going unused. And Shanann says, thank you. And she says, I'll be back in Frederick next weekend and I'll bring my new ones that I just got. I still have one I picked up in January and one's again in March. And now this one is Celeste, right? And she, holy allergies, add allergic to dog, cat, and mold. So this one is Celeste. You can tell the difference in them. And this is June the 16th. This is the day after Cece's birthday party, I guess. Cupcakes make everything better. Yes, they do. And this is Cece eating a birthday cake, or a cupcake, not a birthday cake. This isn't the birthday cupcakes because they're not even the same color. This is different. And the reason she got this cupcake is because she fell and hurt her head somehow. Thank you, Dave. Seeking the truth. I really appreciate that. I'm glad you could be with us tonight. Okay, this is the wedding. This is Mark, Shanann, and y'all just heard his interview. Mark Jameson, Chris's best friend, childhood best friend. This was also his best man, right? Wasn't that his best man? I think so, at his wedding. Back here, you'll see Gina Dietz. Shanann posts this. Protein, anyone? Now, we all know that it is tree nuts, right? And the reason I put this in here, it is tree nuts that the kids are allergic to. However, so many people was getting it wrong, and they all was saying peanuts. But, you know, this is a screenshot, 2018 screenshot of peanuts. This is Shanann talking to, I don't know, I don't remember. I'd have to look, but it's right after Cece's birthday party, July the 15th. She says, sorry, love, just got home from her party. And how was Miss Cece's party? Great, but in-laws were no show. I'm so sorry that they were a no show. And Shanann says, it's their loss, not mine. They are out of my kid's life now. Bye. And she says, I would have totally been there. And she said, her family is not blood. Yes, she did. She wrote peanuts in her letter. And I read that one earlier to you guys to begin with. And here she is again on her page talking with someone. She says, F you, you're teasing my kids. I've done read that one. Am I wrong? I shouldn't feel... Am I wrong? I feel I shouldn't reward them for their horrible behavior and putting both my kids and their life at risk. She went behind my back and let Bella have her due when I said no. Taught her to keep secrets from me, risked Celeste's life, didn't come to her birthday or wish her a happy birthday on the phone or text, blocked and deleted us on Facebook, Chris makes one phone call to his dad today in over 4 weeks, and he wants to see the kids tomorrow. And I told him over my dead body, they don't get to disrespect me and him and his kids and get rewarded. It took me over a week to get Bella to change her attitude with me. Cindy has been disrespecting me. Cindy has her disrespecting me. His dad said, yes, I want to see the kids, even though he blocked us. Hasn't shared any memories of our kids on Facebook and hasn't attempted to make contact or anything. Well, they said they were scared to even try to contact them, but I don't know. July the 9th, the day after Nutgate. Deadly. Celeste is severely anaphylactic to all tree nuts and kiwi. This is not new. Most of you already have read this letter. Take you a screenshot of it, but this is the letter that she wrote to Chris right before she left for Arizona. She's just talking about how they need to get everything fixed and how much she loves him, how much she missed him, and she still believes that she deserves an apology from, or they both deserve an apology from Cindy. My youngest is anaphylactic to tree nuts. This is July the 19th. This is after the birthday party and everything. Okay, this is, what is this? Thrive? Yeah. This is a Thrive thing, and it just shows that it does contain milk, soy, and tree nuts, almond. This is those pro bars that they're all seen eating all the time. Contains milk, soy, tree nuts, almonds. My
Well, same
mother-in-law.
with the Fruit Loops that she was giving them all the
Yeah,
time.
the Fruit Loops, pretty much everything, dude. Like Shanann said, and Shanann said it herself. Basically, everything has it in it. Like literally, it does. I mean, so you got to be super, super careful. I mean, it's like you have to be so careful when you're anaphylactic like that. You've almost got to basically cook everything yourself. Like it's hard to eat anything out or anything pre-made, processed, any of the sort when the allergy is that severe. You basically have to hand make it yourself to know exactly what's in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Here's Shanann on July the 9th. This is the day after Nutgate. It says, my mother-in-law has zero respect for me or my kids. All weekend, she's letting Bella do and have things after I say no. Then she whispers in her ear not to tell mommy. She let her other granddaughter eat ice cream that had every tree nut in it next to my daughter's, and said that they have to learn that they can't always get what they want. She buys things and gives to them, and I have to read them and say no. She said, your mommy said no. No, her life says no. Yeah, I mean, there's just, this is a photo of them. Of course, it said that they were allergic to dogs and cats and mold, and yeah, so this is Josh, Cassie's husband. I put him in here because you heard his wife's interview. This is some that was in the interviews. Cassie, Christina, Shanann. I can't. Is that Karen? Karen F. Sarah Nunn? I can't remember. This is just people that y'all just heard their interviews. I'm just kind of course, we all know Ronnie and Cindy. Frankie, we heard his interview. This is the girls in North Carolina yell out. Tell me how dang cute are these babies? Look at Bella's hair. Cece's a little chubby thing, right? I mean, they're so cute, right? Just adorable. This is Sandra G, the pizza place. Shanann's friend. Remember, Shanann went there with Chris and the girls the night Chris got there. We just heard about that. Christina, Sandy, and the girls' first walk on the beach, which this is one of those photos that Cindy was talking about. She really wished she could have been there to see them the first time to see the beach. And so, yeah, I mean, that's what we got, y'all.
Well, one thing about listening to all these here too, you can actually, how would you want to put it? Put a timeline or a time limit on it that Shanann actually spent with the girl, because she was out and about. One thing we didn't bring up was she had 2 Thrive conventions she actually went to while she was supposed to be visiting while she was in North Carolina. So that's more time that she was away from the girls. That's why she is mad at everybody for not being on time while she wanted to be out and about. And another thing is that going out with Chris Miller and his mom looking at houses too. So, and then again, they're out for lunches, they're out for dinners, and there's no mention of the girls being there, you know. So it's like whoever was around to look after the girls, well, she went out and did her MLM thing.
Yeah. Okay, yep, that's true. Okay,
I
Dave,
sent you a thing in your messenger too.
Okay. Dave, go ahead and shoot me a question to ask on this poll. And if you answers, Nelly, y'all shoot me a question. And while you do that, I'm going to step out just for a sec. I'll be back in 1 minute.
I know where you're going. Does anybody have any questions or anything so far? I'm really amazed. This is really well put together. Thank you very much, Kimberly. A lot of work went into this one.
2.5 days worth.
Well, it's like 4 days just for the video for doing the editing. You know, so I don't know what you do with all that. Holy smokes, been up here for quite a while. But again, sorry everybody. The only reason why we did this late was hopefully to get rid of the trolls. I'll be very surprised if this live is actually still on YouTube, because usually we don't even get 10 minutes into a live and YouTube delists it because people are striking us for nudity and stuff like that. It's just ridiculous. But this is why we don't really advertise our Watts Wednesday anymore. We're just trying this out right now to see when we can do it. So.
Oh, congratulations, Dave, on not smoking anymore for 30 days. I was kind of reading through the comments to see if anybody had any questions. Share C says, Dave G, what's your theory on all this drama and why?
I think it's just a divide again. The Watts from Chris. It's like she wants Chris all to herself. And I'm sorry, there's a lot of things that were going on during that 6 weeks. Like Frankie goes and he says, well, Shanann was with another man during the summer. So the only man I can think of is if she went to 2 conventions, Thrive conventions, out looking at houses with him. The only one guy that I can see that she might have been with, I don't know. But then again, she was going for all these dinners and luncheons and whatever, you know. But yet she was complaining, where are you, Chris? You know, so it's kind of different, like 2 different standards. But no, this whole thing was to divide them again, because she did it once before, where I'm sorry, I can't remember, it was 1.5 years or something. Maybe Kimberly might remember, but she had cut ties off with the Watts then too, where he couldn't talk to them again. You know, and most of that stuff was over the wedding and that garbage. But like we're gonna hopefully do a live on the wedding and all that other stuff too, because a lot of stuff being said isn't what happened. Again, just like this Nutgate garbage. It seems that everything that Cindy has said, it keeps on being consistent, you know, with the people that she talked to and that. Their stories never change, but Shanann, she's got all these different versions of it out there, and it's like either people are adding to it or she's adding to it. I don't know. I wasn't there, so I can't really say. It just that the stories all should be the same. It's the same person telling the story each time, so don't know. But does anybody have any questions for the poll? Maybe. Again, I'd like to thank everybody that's been here for all this time here. We got, what is it, 174 watching right now. I really appreciate everybody, even if you're sitting in the back of the cheap seats there. If you ever want to become a member, it's, what is it, $1.99 Canadian a month. So it's actually pretty cheap. Again, if you're a member, you get to talk and chat here. As long as everybody's respectful, we're good to go.
Yeah, and thank you, Dave and Nelly, for hanging in there with me for just a second. I had to go to the little girl's room real quick. So yeah, I got the poll up, y'all. Everybody take a vote in it real quick before we go. I'm just curious of what everybody thinks now that you've heard the material evidence, and we've tried to show everything from every angle that, you know, talked about it as best we could. So let's see what you think about it. You know, let us see. So take your vote, and just to let you know, when you vote, we don't know who voted either way. We don't. It doesn't show us a name. It just gives us a percentage. So just curious how everybody feels about it. We can't vote up here on stage. They won't let us vote. So yeah, it's going. It's being voted on, y'all. Okay. So far, we've had 24 votes, 27. So y'all keep them coming in real quick before we end up here. Dave is Seeking the Truth. With Dave still with us?
Yes.
Yeah, he's still in there.
Okay. When we end here, Dave, he's way different hours than we are, y'all. I mean, he's like, it's 4 a.m. here, so I guess it's like 10 there. I don't know. I think they're 6 or something.
Did you look at your messenger?
Hang on, let me look. Hang on, y'all.
You go, girl.
Y'all keep it voting.
Oh, we're up to 35 votes. So, and again, we're not victim shaming or blaming or anything like that at all. We're just more or less showing the written evidence that's there, and any audio evidence too. So we're not making this stuff up. It's there. You could probably do the same thing if you wanted to spend hours like Kimberly does all the time, you know, going through video and stuff. I'm sorry, I'm really impressed with this live. You did a really, really good job.
I really appreciate that. It was hell to put together. I'm not kidding. It took me forever. I was like, I don't want to listen to these interviews again, but I had to. Damn, I had to.
Mhm.
You know, to let me get this pulled up here. Let's see.
And it's 3 a.m. here. I'm debating to go wash my car. That way I can wax it tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there won't be anybody at the car wash except for cab drivers.
Awesome, y'all. Okay. We got 1 more minute here. 1 more minute. This was what was in my messenger. Sorry, I just now checked it, but it's only 1 minute. And y'all look at this. Okay. This is complete compliments of Seeking the Truth with Dave. Okay. He has sent this for us to take a look at. So let me put this up here. This will give you like a you're there, thing, because he was there. Well, I mean, it'll speak for itself. I mean, it literally speaks for itself. Thank you so much for sharing this with us, Dave. And let's play this third one real quick. It's like 1 minute. And yeah, check this out.
Okay, so you're out there with Dalton, where you are now, and you're on the couch. In here is Dylan, Bella, and Cece. Shanann comes storming out, and she's about here, and that's when she told you, why are you trying to kill my daughter? And accused you of that. And then it's on for young and old between you and her, pretty much. She's going off. And then you guys end up going in that room there, right? Which is actually Chris's old room, is now a little dining room. Okay. And the kids basically follow you out. They were in there to have their afternoon nap, right? But they wouldn't have got to sleep in that room with Dylan in there. And that's what Shanann was really basically upset about. And then you pretty much got up not long after that and took Dylan and Dalton out of here and went to Walmart. Okay, so you're out there with Dalton, where you are now, and you're on the couch. In here is Dylan, Bella, and Cece. Shanann comes storming out, and she's about here, and that's when she told you, why are you trying to kill my daughter? And accused you of that. And then it's on for young and old between you and her, pretty much. She's going off. And then you guys end up going in that room there, right? Which is actually Chris's old room, is now a little dining room. Okay. And the kids basically follow you out. They were in there to have their afternoon nap, right? But they wouldn't have got to sleep in that room with Dylan in there. And that's what Shanann was really basically upset about. And then you pretty much got up not long after that and took Dylan and Dalton out of here and went to Walmart.
So yeah, I mean, there you go. He was there, and he gave you like a visual of being in the actual spot that Nutgate took place. So that's very interesting, and thank you for sharing that with us, Dave. I appreciate that. Yeah, the visual does help, doesn't it? It does kind of give it, put you there, and everything you've just heard. It kind of gives you a better understanding. Okay, y'all, our poll is actually pretty damn good. Out of 44 votes, Cindy was the one that was okay. 44 votes. Who was out of line with Nutgate? Cindy, 33%. Shanann, 51%. Jamie, nobody thinks Jamie was, because hell, she wasn't even there. Regardless of what some has said, she wasn't there. And 15% says it was just blown completely out of proportion. So there you go. There's your poll. I'm going to end it, and it should come up in yeah, there it is. Thank you all for voting in it. I think that was pretty interesting. We've been here for quite some time. Seeking the Truth with Dave is still here. Dave, are you going live? If you are, throw your link in there. Some of these people that's still up may want to follow you. If you're talking Watts, may want to continue to talk it as well right now. But we've been here for quite some time. I hope some of you may have learned something, maybe give you something to think about, you know, because now you literally heard it from all the material evidence that we could pull up on it, you know, and
No pistachio ice cream.
yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't believe that for 5 minutes. I don't believe Cindy was running around chasing the kids down trying to give them nuts either. I don't believe there was razor blades all over the house. Even Shanann didn't say that. Now, Shanann may have loosely, well, I mean, Sandy said, you know, she wasn't there, so obviously she's taking her information from what she was told, right? So I'm thinking that she heard razor blade on the back of the stove or whatever. And I mean, surely Shanann didn't just tell her mom there's razor blades. Jamie was running around sneaking nuts everywhere. I don't know, but Jamie wasn't even there. Ronnie wasn't there. Like, they weren't there at all. They heard about it, the aftermath of it, you know. Jamie apologized that her 10-year-old got it out of the refrigerator, you know, so. Welcome to Team Unjustified, Sizzle Silva. Welcome to Team Unjustified. Thank you so much for the extra support to the channel. We appreciate that. I cannot imagine the hurt Cindy and Ronnie must be going through, losing their own grandchildren that adored him. I agree. Okay, y'all. So we used a couple of creators and a blog person's information here. Their work, right? So they're going to be linked in the description box after this live. Okay, so check them out. Make sure you do. We appreciate it. Seeking the Truth with Dave. If you're going live, let them know so they can follow you on over there, because it looks like we still have many in here just wanting to listen. So, okay, Dave, Nelly, mods out there, thank y'all. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for being here, everybody.
And don't forget, Skankers Ball. We're going to be having that here pretty soon too. We already got everything ready. We just got to put it all together. Nelly's putting the finishing touches on it right now. Mm-hmm. It's going to be good, y'all. Going to be good.
And there's a lot of things there I didn't even know.
Really?
So
really?
It's like,
yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah. There's a lot to learn there. Yeah. Okay. Good night, everybody. And we really appreciate it. And we will see y'all next time. Night, everyone.
Thank you so much for watching, and do not forget to subscribe, like, share, and leave us a comment below on your thoughts of this video. And until next time, this is UnJustified.